Haven't you heard of suspension of disbelief?
Just another American who saw too many movies as a child.
Hello everyone, and welcome to After the Film. Today we're going to be talking about Don't Breathe.
Yo, I got our ticket out of here. Rumor is this guy is sitting on at least $300K. Boom!
That's our guy.
Wait, is he blind?
We messed up to rob a blind guy, isn't it?
Just because he's blind don't mean he's insane, bro.
Don't Breathe has moments in it that are amazing. And the setup is great, despite a behind enemy lines problem with the main character, Rocky. And the film does well with the claustrophobic locations. These people go in to rob a house, they're stuck in there with the guy who lives there, who turns out, and none of this is spoilers because it's on the trailer, turns out to have a woman imprisoned in his basement. And he's not that nice a guy, he's quite violent, he's quite good at what he does despite being blind. And Stephen Lang does a great job of portraying him. The menace is very clear from the start. You can tell this is not a guy to be trifled with. Performances. Jane Levy as Rocky, great job. Good horror film kind of performance. Deals in being afraid very well, and you believe her as a character. I already said she's got that behind enemy lines problem. Yes, they set up this whole sort of abusive family relationship where she wants to get a bunch of money and leave town, take her little sister with her. That's an unnecessary element, but it's okay. A little backstory is fine. But you're creating this situation where this horrible event has to be life-changing. And it doesn't need that. It's a horror film. It doesn't need that. Dylan Minnette as Alex is good. He only has a few expressions in his repertoire, but he works them well. A better performance, I think, was Daniel Zavato as Money, but as you see in the trailer, this isn't a spoiler, he dies early. So he's not in a lot of the film, but he's good. He's got a little more charisma to him. And I already said Stephen Lang is great. Everyone else in the movie is in so little screen time they don't matter. They're not worth commenting on. They're good. Great tension, great use of location. Early in the movie they do some tracking shots that kind of give you this like subconscious mental layout of the house, so you know where everything is, and if they're running around later, you know what's going on. It's not twists and turns that are unexpected, except for when they're in the basement, which you do see in the trailer, in which case it's supposed to be that way. They can't see. We don't know the way around because everything looks the same, and it works. When they're upstairs and they can see, they know their way around, and we know the way around if we're paying attention. That's good. The violence works well. There's a dog in this movie that mostly just gets to look menacing and chase people. It doesn't do a lot. But there are some very bloody moments with other violence, with guns and stabbing and that kind of stuff. The bad. I've already mentioned the behind enemy lines problem. We don't need that. We don't need to know that this is gonna change her life. How about she's interesting, we like her, she's who we're with at the beginning of the movie, we hope she lives. Especially when we learn that the guy's got a person in the basement. That being said, the other problem is there. That he has someone in the basement is almost like this other plot. I mean, it all ties together. I mean, his daughter died, and that's why he has a settlement money. That's why they know he's got money. That's why they're in his house. But then... spoilers.
No! 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 No!
He's got this other girl because he wants her to replace his daughter. And I don't mean her. And this is where this problem becomes a bigger problem. And like as a modern film in 2016, this seems I don't want to say wrong, because I'm not against movies doing things that freak people out, especially a horror film. But he has impregnated this girl using a baster. He says he's not going to force himself on her. That line there is a little questionable, first of all. And then there's a whole scene where he catches Rocky and he's got her tied up, hanging from the ceiling. And he cuts her clothing and gets the baster and fills it. And it's basically this, it's going for this sort of rape scene without it being a rape scene. Like, that's the having its cake and eating it too. And I don't think either version is needed. We've already established he has someone in his basement. And, extra spoiler, she's the one who hit his daughter with a car, and that's why he picked her. He's already got this person in prison in his basement, which makes him bad enough. He's already willing to immediately turn to violence when people are in his house, which makes him bad enough. And then we throw on, hey, he's indirectly a rapist. Which seems cheap. And tawdry and unnecessary. Which then had me thinking about the whole thing of him having a person in the basement in the first place, which also is unnecessary. Maybe a more interesting film is they're in this house to rob this guy, he turns out to be violent, they're trapped in there with him, and we don't have to root for them exclusively because he's bad. We get to choose. Instead, you get this rape vibe and this, I'm not going to say it's about violence against women, but in that case it is, even though there's violence against men in the rest of the film. Yeah, this is more of an exclusive versus women thing, and in 2016 it seems out of place. And unfortunately, this is near the end of the film when, I mean, this is a movie that an hour and a half feels like it's about a half hour too long. Like it has too many acts. So having things that are tacked on simply to make it more outlandish and more grotesque, we don't need it. Maybe more action instead. More chases, more hiding. That being said, I liked the movie. As I said, there are moments that are amazing. Overall, it's good. It feels long, which is weird for such a short film, but it is entertaining. As a horror film, it does have scares, it does have tension. So if you saw the trailer and you want to see it, go see it. If not, see something else. There's always something good out there. See more movies.
Now you're gonna see what I see.